All right. Hey, welcome to Better Sundays. This is Mike here at ReachKeep.com, and we've got a new podcast called 5 Minutes to Better Sundays, or the shortened version is just Better Sundays. But anyway, glad you are here, and I want to tell you a little bit about it. This is our preseason kind of run-up YouTube video, training video that we're doing on it to kind of show you how everything works. So there's a few things to just kind of note. We are very excited about having better Sundays. At our church, we always want to improve. Every week we're trying to do something different. We have evaluations on Mondays and Tuesdays. We sit down and kind of go through what went right and what went wrong, what was confusing, what we do better, all of those kind of things. And we want to relate some of that. And this podcast is nuts and bolts, that kind of stuff. Many of these are recorded while I'm driving home from church. Many of these have been recorded while I'm sitting in the office between a Sunday morning and a Sunday night, just trying to go through what happened and what we've learned and what we've done. We're doing this in a season format, and so this very first season really deals with three very important tangibles that we want to teach you and help you have better Sundays. And you might be like, what is a better Sunday? Well, it's probably better than the one you had last week. I mean, in other words, I want everyone to be better. I want to be improving. I learned that years ago when I was doing vacation Bible schools. We would do, 5 days. We always wanted Tuesday to step it up a little notch, and Wednesday to step it up, and Thursday and Friday, and just kind of really end with a bang, and not with the emotional stuff and going crazy and hoopla kind of things, but just fine tuning and sharpening up and really examining what it means to have a better Sunday and some of that. So we want to go through a lot of this is quality-based type things, not necessarily numerical things. But let me talk to you about numbers for just a moment, because we do believe, I think sometimes when we do have some more folks, some more guests that visit and people show up, they come back or whatever, that does make a better Sunday for us in many, many ways. I remember one of the things we were examining, like what made a really great day. And one of the things that always kind of came back in our church is when we had a family visiting that had a bunch of young kids or even babies in the nursery. That just kind of stimulated everybody and kind of got everybody sort of going. It was really a kind of a neat kind of an idea that we're reaching someone young, and we're putting God's word and prayer and the Holy Spirit, we're putting things into a young family. It's going to be around for a long, long time. So we spent a lot of time trying to figure out some of those things, and this podcast is really a summary of putting some of those things together. I want to go through and show you just some of the things that we're going to have, the tangibles here, what we call tangibles, just really some three hands-on things that you can use in your church that you can implement now. In fact, the podcast is really designed to be implementable. That's why we're keeping it short. It's not a lot of theory. It's some very short things. And like when you're done, you can go home and do this, or go back to your church, I guess, and do this. You can talk to your staff and do this. You can talk to your Sunday school people and do this. We want to try to have a concise kind of a call to action, a plan for you to have that you can go with. So that might be unlike other podcasts, and it's very unlike some of our other long format training that we have. We do have at ReachKeep many, hour-long webinars on all sorts of topics with lots of details, and we hope that those are action-oriented as well. But this particular thing is very short. They're published on Monday mornings so that you can, it'll show up on your podcatcher, whatever it happens to be, iTunes or Spotify, however you listen to podcasts, and it'll be right there for you. And on Monday, you'll have a good idea of something that you can work on and implement. And by next Sunday, you're going to have it going. As I mentioned, this is the first season. So technically right now, the podcast is not up. Now it is recorded. We've actually recorded almost the entire season is done. It's probably kind of like television. I'm assuming that when you watch some movie that they've all probably been recorded, the year before and then put into production. So it's like that. I've got a lot of these done, and I'll go through the website here in just a second and show you kind of sort of the gist of it so you can grab hold of it. We do have, and if this is your first time here and you're not subscribed yet, and again, we're doing this before, we have a wait list here. And if you want to sign up for the wait list, I will send you a summary sheet, what we call a one-page blueprint of these three tangibles and some of the nuts and bolts things that are kind of underneath each one that you can go, oh, I can go home and work on that right now. So that is free for everybody that kind of signs up on the wait list. So we're headed there. So let me go to the website here, and I have to put my glasses on so that I can see that. We've got our kind of our Better Sundays podcast logo there that you probably have already seen, or you will see on iTunes. You can find that. Over on the website, this is what it looks like if you type in your browser bettersundays.com. In fact, you probably are already here because you found this. But if you're watching this on YouTube or some other place, you can go over to Better Sundays. And we really have just a few areas. It's very simple. We've tried to make this very simple. We have the list of our podcasts, and I'll go through those. We have our upcoming webinars that are what we teach every first Friday, and this is the long format training. This is the exciting stuff. We really get to do a lot of good stuff and a lot of Q&A and kind of work through some things together. We then have a link, excuse me, got some allergies here today. We have a link to reachkeep.com. I'm not going to click that because it's going to go over to reachkeep.com. That's there. And then if you're wondering a little bit, there's an about page that talks about yours truly and just a couple of things that we've done. So a little bit of background. So let's go back to the podcast page because this is really where it's all happening. Most of these podcasts will want you to subscribe, and we want you to get hold of them on your, use your mobile device and make sure that you're, up and going here, whatever you happen to. Oh, I shut my phone off. I'm sorry while I was doing this. But on your phone, you're going to want to go to either, if you have an Apple phone or Google, whatever, go to that. We do have a special video or a little audio that we did actually on how to subscribe, and that's right here on this on the home page. The home page is when you click back here. So let me just go back to this. You click back here, and this is probably where you are. There's just a couple of what we call dummy episodes up there right now, but all the main episodes will show across this top bar here. The latest ones will be right here, some recent ones down here, and then on the bottom there'll be a couple other little features that you have. But when you go there is a thing called this will remain at the top, how to subscribe on iTunes, and that'll help you if you've never subscribed to a podcast. If you have been to a podcast and you've got them already, you know how to listen to them, that's fine. So I'm going to go back over to the podcast because this shows our podcasts here by date. Okay, and here are all the different podcasts, and we don't have the dates set on these. This is the order that they'll come out, but the dates are not current because of we haven't released them on iTunes, but the dates will be kind of filled in there, and this is the order that they'll be in. So let me just kind of go through. I'll touch on the tangibles here just so you kind of know. If you're trying to reach young families and you're trying to really have better Sundays and really stimulate your church to be an impact in the community and really kind of take things off, we've summarized it into three simple things kind of in this blueprint, and we'll put some of this in the one-page blueprint for you to see. But there's three things that you can work on that are going to take you most of the way there. There's some other things, websites and some digital things and some a variety of other things that need to be done that can help you. But the first one here is this idea of a church atmosphere and making sure your atmosphere when people come, it is a pleasant atmosphere. And we're going to go through that in details, already have. And you can see season 1, episode 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way through here. The first 3 episodes really deal with, what is a better Sunday? Why do we need better Sundays? What is a better Sunday? And how do I have better Sundays? And so those are sort of, what we call anchor podcasts. You'll want to listen to those that are a little longer, kind of get into some details. But when you get down into here, this is nuts and bolts stuff on atmosphere, creating an amazing local church experience, we call it, being anxious anxious for guests, early and ready, your church's aroma. We talk about music. We've got another one in here we're recording that'll go in there. So church atmosphere is super important. The second thing that is very, very important that we're focusing during this very first season of our podcast is what we call family solutions. In other words, when a family comes to your church, when someone comes to your church, there is a problem solved. They leave with an answer. They leave with an aha. Now, we obviously want that to be that they become born again, and we preach that constantly around here. We want them to learn to connect to God in prayer and some of those things. We want them to get good doctrine. We know that you're already teaching some of those things. So what we have focused on are some of the solutions that have to do with more family-oriented things. And as we scroll down here, you can see just a couple of them. This idea of being an active developer, a parental participation, how to train your parents, how to do family projects where families and kids are doing something together. We talk about security issues. We talk about your Sunday morning structure and just some ways to kind of tweak that and kind of work on those things. And then also this whole idea of character-based teaching. We're probably going to add a few to that. And again, these will probably be released. By the time we get to these are going to be into October by these are being released. And then the last one here, kind of going back up, is this idea of, we call it high touch. And I explain where that term high touch comes from. It's kind of the flip side of high tech. Okay, so you have high tech where everything's organized and digital and everything da-da-da-da-da, and everything boom, 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 boom. And there has to be in our churches a place where there's breathing room out of that, and we call it high touch. And the concept here is the relational assets. It's the idea of building relationships and having time for relationships. And we have a whole series of these. Some of these are not listed on this website, but they're already recorded. But the idea of just really working on those relationships. If you're interested in following some other podcasts, we do have reachkeep.com. We've done podcasts for years, just kind of sprinkled them out throughout the years. Never got a real serious schedule on that. But there are a bunch of them down here at the bottom of this page. You can get onto those by linking and going down. How to use connection cards, how to use announcements and better bulletins, things along that line. Very practical stuff as well. And you can also go to reachkeep.com and hit our audio/podcast button. That'd take you right over there. So anyway, that's my introduction for you. I do want you to do me a favor, not only go here and kind of see what's going on. There'll be a wait list place here, a little pop-up for you to check into the sign up for the wait list. But do make sure you go to the webinar button there and sign up for our upcoming webinars. We've got the titles of some of those that are here. You'll be able to see those. Those links will be all active and take you out to where you need to go. But we're very excited about this, and I want to thank you for taking time to listen. If you would, share this and get a thumbs up, and if you're on YouTube, hit the little bell so you get notifications every time we put things up. That would be great as well. But the main thing will be to get subscribed to the podcast and go over to that subscription. You can hit this little hit that guy right there. To click on his nose right there. Click on that, and that should get you there. So I am grateful to be able to serve in local churches, and I am so thankful for the privilege of being able to help all across the country churches. And I am here to help you, and I just want to share that with you. If we can ever help you at deeper levels, we have different things we offer. We have an online course that we do. We have a monthly academy. You'll learn more about that as you listen to the podcasts and things. But I also have an address. It's called info@reachkeep.com, and that comes directly to my phone right here. And yes, we can connect there. So anyway, thanks so much for listening, and make sure you subscribe, and we will be spending a lot more time together, I can tell. Thanks. Bye.